Hi, I'm the Tale Weaver Omar, and DM here at A Tale of D20's Network.
Hi, I'm Zektown, and I am the DM here at A Tale of D20's Network.
Zek, you know I am the Dungeon Master for the drama-fueled, anime-inspired fantasy epic Descent into the Void, right?
Yes, but Omar, you know I am the Dungeon Master for the comedy-riddled, trope-smashing fantasy epic The Natural Ones.
I guess both of them are perfect shows for a tabletop podcasting network.
It's a good thing that people can find us at ataleofd20s.com then.
Yeah, you can also find us on Twitter at A Tale of D20s. That's at ATALEOFD20S, A Tale of D20s.
And you can find each show on Twitter at The Nat Ones Cast, at THENAT1SCAST, The Nat Ones Cast, or Descent Void at DESCENTVOID, Descent Void on Twitter.
So, if you want thrilling drama
or a side-splitting comedy, A Tale of D20s has you covered.
Welcome back, everyone. So let's remove the bookmark and continue our tale. So, Liberators, you have just completed the ritual to cleanse the items and have handed out the items accordingly to their bearers, and you can spend the hour attuning to if you so choose.
Absolutely.
I certainly will.
Right,
I was identifying the gems on the ground.
And I was marching off frustrated towards the lower parts of the ship.
All right, so Duran, you head downstairs while Horatio grabs onto the Helm of Brilliance. Horatio, as you go, within that first 10 minutes of everyone kind of relaxing, eating Monaco's meal that she has prepared to rejuvenate the dancers, and you take that time to assimilate with your weapons and items. So you discover that there are 5 diamonds, 9 rubies, 18 fire opals, and 31 regular opals on this brilliant shining helmet.
Ooh, and what do each of these do?
So, in completing your spell, all of the secrets of the Helm of Brilliance are revealed to you. You can use an action to cast one of the following spells according to the specific gem that you have pulled out and tossed. Once it's been pulled out and used, it turns into dust and disappears from the helm. The spell save DC on it is 18. So if it is in regular opal, you cast the daylight spell. Fire opal is the fireball spell. Diamond's prismatic spray, and wall of fire is cast from the rubies.
Okay.
As long as it has at least 1 diamond, the helm emits dim light within 30 feet radius. And when at least 1 undead is within the area. Any undead that starts his turn in the area takes 1d6 radiant damage. As long as you have 1 ruby, you're resistant to fire damage. And if you have 1 fire opal, you can use an action to speak a command word to cause one weapon you are holding to burst into flames. And the flames emit a bright light in a 10-foot radius, and a dim light for 10 feet beyond that. And then you can, basically it becomes Duran's blade, like a fire thorn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Lastly, roll a d20 if you are wearing the helm, and you take fire damage as a result of failing a saving throw against a spell. On a roll of 1, the helm emits beams of light from its remaining gems. Each creature within 60 feet of the helm other than you must succeed on a DC 17 dexterity saving throw or be struck by a beam, taking radiant damage equal to the number of gems in the helm. The helm and gems are then destroyed. So it's kind of like a last explosion, destroying the weapon by doing one final blast, if you will. A Hail Mary.
It's like you're holding an explosive on your head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a hat and a grenade.
Mm-hmm. And fire damage is what ignites the fuse.
Thank goodness that no one uses fire.
But you also have resistance to fire damage with it equipped if it has at least
Yes.
one, which is awesome.
Yeah, just don't roll a 1.
Alrighty. So, thus ends your identify explanation as these words cross your head and you come in full knowledge of exactly how this item works.
After the first hour of attuning to my thing, I'll have taken the circlet off and I'll say to Minako, do you want this circlet of mage armor, or perhaps Horatio would?
Oh, well, Horatio, can you wear it?
I would prefer to cast it as it helps my ward.
Well, I think it's very beautiful, King, and I would be very happy to accept your circlet.
I'll hold it out and sort of prestidigitate like a bed of flowers and like go on one knee as if I'm, offering it to a queen. Here, I offer you this circlet of protection.
Oh, King, thank you. And she'll take it from him and put it on her head.
And it's very, Lord of the Rings elven, like 2 braids of silver, like a thin circlet that sits on the top of your head, And it has like 1 or 2 little embellishments of like a like a leaf pattern, but it's not overwhelmingly leaf. There's just like a few of those.
She tosses her hair a bit, and it's practically invisible under all that anyway. But her forehead, you can see a good line of the silver going across, and you can see when she put it on, there was like a moment where she tries to fit it like it's fit for your head, but her head has horns there. So she kind of fits awkwardly, but she gets it.
All right. And during the other hour, the hour you would spend attuning to this and your new staff, it would shape and form itself around your head, fitting it perfectly, leaving room for horns until it adorns you just as brilliantly as it did for King.
Oh.
All right.
I think it looks great on you, Minako.
Oh, thank you. I didn't expect it to curl around like that, but I suppose I should have.
Magic works.
It's
funny ways.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll treasure it always, the King. Thank you.
Of course.
All right. So, you slowed it down pretty much, and only about with your tuning, about 6 hours passed, and you wanted the guys to get there at the 9th hour to the mouse. I mean, you guys head off at early morning, so it should be reaching about 3 in the afternoon or so, later in the afternoon. If you don't want to do anything else and just keep it is a safe journey to the mouth, though by the time you reach it, depending on what King does, if you speed it up or not, but if you just go the normal speed of the Ice Crown without the use of King's aid, you'll probably be able to reach it by nightfall.
Cal, do you want me to speed up the winds again?
No, I think by the time we would get to Chilford, it would just be roughly nightfall anyways.
All right. Do you think that there's need to potentially obscure us? I could call a fog.
I think I can have that one covered.
Are you sure?
I take my revolvers and stick them into the wheel of the ship, and...
Does that go in there? Don't break it! I'm just kidding. I know you know what you're doing.
and I rotate it to make the ship seem invisible.
All right, so you go ahead, placing your revolvers into the slots that's within the helm of the ship. When you do so, they click and ka-chink, and you go ahead spinning revolvers and pulling the trigger as if you were shooting. Once again, the wheels begin to unlock and turn, and you spin it in the formation that you know how to augment the ship. And within doing so, within the instant, the ship itself was already kind of shimmering in and out of existence, if you would say, from vision. But now it just... And it's a strange sensation. For those of you who are not Cal or Minako who can see through illusions, you can see the barriers of the ship, where everything is, like where the doors are, the outlines of everything. But for the most part, it's completely invisible, allowing vision completely out of the ship, and it doesn't seem like anyone outside the ship would be able to see either.
This is fantastic. You continue to grow and amaze.
There's still so much more about this ship that I wish I could remember. Perhaps I'll have some time to meditate on it once all this is said and done.
All right. I don't know about you, but my legs are still tired, so I'm gonna go see if I can chop some vegetables for Minako for dinner. Sitting down in the kitchen.
All right.
And I'll leave the bow, stern of the deck and head into the underneath galley and do that. See if Minako needs help or start cooking, prepping dinner.
All right. So anyone doing anything before dinner? Dinner will probably be at nightfall, around the time when you surmise that the ship will arrive, at least at the mouth of the river.
Right around when King actually goes down, Duran is actually going to come back up from underneath the ship to come reclaim the blade he left on the deck of the ship, and sees him wearing the sainted new magic glowing robes from the ritual. So it seems your ritual was a success then.
Indeed it was. Seems you've noticed. And I'll sort of strike a pose and then peek an eye to see if he's looking at me.
Describe how now that you're attuned to it, you can look however you would like. So how does your robe of the Magi look?
So it has a dual color. The inside of it has a dark green and sort of an ombre fades to a light green on the inside of it to sort of give a feeling of a forest, a deep forest when I have the cape open and you're looking at it from that side. But the outside and the back of the cape has a mother of pearl, warbling technicolor as you described, but it's softer color. So it has that base of white, off-white, and then you know how satin sort of has a sheen as it sort of waves and ruffles. The colors shift from that light purple to pink and teal and blue and shades of dark blue, and then back to the lighter white and sort of warbles between those on the backside.
All right.
With, of course, golden filigree around the cuffs and the edges of the whole thing.
Well, you will need its magic. I saw what happened earlier, and...
The beasts were still within it. We have to remain ever vigilant. You taught me that.
Duran nods and continues to walk past King.
Duran, and I'll reach back and touch his arm. I know that you're not yourself, and... It's hard for you to be connected to us, but just know that we do care about you, and with this power, I will try and restore you and help you. Even though I know you don't think so, you're precious to me.
Duran kind of... You should focus on the battle coming ahead.
As you can see, I'll take a step back. I have newfound powers, and... so do our allies from the deeds Cal and I have done.
Not just that, but I saw what happened with you from before, when you fell. The others do not know how deep the pain is that you carry from the spells you cast, but I do. You will not be able to last long like this.
I've been training. I've been growing stronger. And you're right, I don't have unlimited resources, but they don't need to know the depth of this pain. They just need to know that their allies will protect them, and that's that. I will be sure to heed yours and Cal's and everyone's advice and temper my casting, but I will do what needs to be done.
I will hold you to it, he says in Elvish. And walks and continues walking up.
I just linger for a moment, and then I'll huff a word of prayer under my breath and walk downstairs.
All right. So you go ahead and walk downstairs. What are on top of the deck? Cal, are you doing anything for the rest of the evening before dinner?
I'm going to focus on my meditations about the ship and the things that it can do. Trying to just decipher all of that information that was given to me again.
All right, indeed. So you go ahead, become one with the sea and the ship, and breathe in and out and try to reflect upon your memories. And you do spend some time, and you spend the rest of the time, at least until dinner time, just concentrating. Horatio, are you doing anything specific? Still taking a look out on the deck of the Ice Crown?
Yeah, as of right now, he's a little nervous and he's just concerned to make sure that they don't get ambushed again. So he'll continue just walking back and forth, back around. If anyone has any help with anything, he's willing to help them. But for the most part, he's keeping an eye out to make sure that we can arrive safely.
All right. So, with the three of you still remaining on top of the deck, the ship, King, you walk down there. Monaco, what are you doing this evening? It's a couple hours have passed at this point, and people are kind of shoveling in, and it's getting close to dinner time, but not quite there yet.
So, Monaco's below deck, and you can hear her whistling and even and she is currently using a minor illusion to summon little illusions of mice and small rodents, and she appears to be playing with the giant constrictor snake.
All right. So at that point, with you playing with the new constrictor snake formed from the staff, King, that's when you would arrive, seeing Monaco in there.
And she makes the illusion kind of pop up into the air, and you see the constrictor snake just swallows it like it's enjoying a good mouse. And she'll kind of stroke its chin and prestidigitate the taste of a mouse.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. That's crazy. You're able to control that.
Hey. Oh, hey, King. Oh.
I was just gonna chop some vegetables and prepare for dinner. I just wanted to thank you for, and I'll just look at the snake slithering around, for just being supportive.
Oh. Well, of course I could use your help. I haven't gotten started just yet. I got a little carried away with my new friend here. That whole dance.
Cool.
Well, that's not all he can do, but quite a magnificent boon you've granted me after that nice little ritual. I say nice little one. It was quite extraordinary, actually. Especially the end.
That was one of the longest rituals I've ever performed. It was so taxing. My legs are like jelly. I just want to sit here, and that's why I figured I could help you chop.
Oh, good. Well, I'm, yeah, come on, let's get started. And she'll, go through some of the drawers and start pulling out various root vegetables and fresh ones, and, as well as checking out some of the preserving barrels or, whatever method we use to keep all those delicious fish we've been eating every day. Nice.
And I'll just follow her instructions.
Have you ever, gutted a fish before?
No, there weren't many lakes with, fish in them in the wastelands. I've only ever started having seafood since I've started traveling.
Oh, that's so sad, King. I hope that we can bring some peace to your people. Isn't that what you wanted to do?
Yeah. They need a new home and a better life. And they deserve to try fish for the first time. I'm sure some of them are gonna love it.
Oh, I'm sure. Come on, just hold it down here, and you hold the knife.
Like this? It's
you hold the knife like this. Yeah, I know. We're gonna get rid of those soon.
Okay.
Well, some of them at least. I mean, these ones. Well, anyway, it's all you'll see. There's a whole bunch of fish stuff. It's a whole thing. Oh, you're gonna have so much fun.
Okay, and I'll try and follow her instructions and gut the fish and cook with her.
Roll me a performance check at advantage, Monaco, as you prepare dinner.
A 29.
29, very nice. With the aid of King, you're able to create a delicious meal. And you know that the way that the Ice Crown is set up for refrigeration is just like how it was back at Arrow Watch. There's a container that looks like some type of perpetual cone of cold or weather-altering spell.
It's a cold box.
Exactly. That's been set up. The Queen, and she's famous for these type of things. She's the one who invented the technology to even in all the homes, if they can afford it, this kind of strange perpetual box of cone of cold that could keep things always at the right temperature. Well, in any case, you make a delicious meal over the course of the hour you take to prepare, and the smell fills the entirety of the cabins out into the deck, where even those who are standing on top can start to smell it. But at this point, you recognize that, just instinctually, that dinner is ready, as per Monako and King.
I'll go get them.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Just, can you carry this? And we can bring it to them.
Yeah, of course.
Come on.
And then
I got a tray.
Okay. And I follow her up with the trays of food.
All right. You guys, no time at all, make your way on top of the deck getting ever so closer to the mouth of the river.
Before we get to the top, do you want to bring Duran his meal, or should I do that?
It's fine. We're slowly making progress. He at least recognized that the items were useful.
You do so much good. He'll see it. I'm sure.
I hope so.
And then we make it up to the top of the deck, and she kind of gives him a nod and looks over towards Duran at the side of the ship, and we'll head towards Cal and Horatio.
All right. So, Cal, Horatio, you see coming towards you, just carrying a delicious meal. As always, Monako heading out to vision to where you both can see King walking over towards Duran. But for the most part, you all can interact with each other and eat a dinner before the evening ends.
Monako, this food's amazing.
Yeah, we stuffed that fish full of all kinds of good stuff, cooked it all up. It's not, King helped me with the side bits. He has a very fine touch when it comes to the little bits.
It is very delicious. Thank you, Monako. Thank you, King.
Duran, do you want some stuffed fish? It's full of herbs and lemon, and we have some hearty grains and vegetables. I know how hard you're practicing. I want to keep you strong.
So it's King giving me a bowl, or is it just like a...
I'm holding a tray, and on there is like the fish, like a bowl of grains or rice, and like the steamed vegetables and the fish, like a tray.
You can bring this back over to the others.
Why, you don't want to eat?
No, I'm eating with you.
Well, come on then.
Don't think anything of it. This is simply the last night before combat. We should discuss our plans.
After dinner. Come on. And I'll turn around then.
All right. So you all congregate into the center of the ice crown as you start to sail. And then once again, you're all together, eating a delicious meal created by Monako and King. So if there's anything you wish to talk about or discuss before heading on to the next part of your adventure, you can now. Or if not, you can continue.
Duran kind of turns to Horatio. Wizard, I will take you up on your helmet. But before, I will need all the help I can get.
Sounds good. And I hand him the helmet, and I let him know what each opal do, or what each gem does. And I say, these here, the diamonds, they offer a prismatic spray, and if you have one in the helmet, it'll emit light. So on and so forth, just explaining each one.
I did not see the ritual, but it seems it was greatly effective. He says, looking over at King and Cal.
I have this big smile on my face.
My own attempt at ritual is not so successful.
What were you trying?
Duran kind of lifts up the magnetic blade, because he always has it with him. When I received this blade from the future, vision of memories flowed into me, and a great sense of energy. I remember Kai was able to use this in his battle, our battle, against Hiei. I thought it might lend me some secrets to use to defeat him, or at least to battle other demon dancers. The connection was not strong enough.
Maybe what you need is some help, and another try.
Or just some more time.
There is no more time.
Chilford is not the end. Chilford is just the beginning.
We don't even know what's going to be there.
What I have seen before, I expect opposition and unexpected enemies.
We've had enemies and infiltrators all around us, and you've found them and kept us safe, and I have faith that you will continue to do so. Together we are strong.
I do not know if we have any other do-overs. He says, looking at Cal, if this does not work.
It will work.
The only way this wouldn't work is if we die. And I don't have any plan on dying anytime soon.
Ha! Good. That's the kind of courage that will get us through. As long as you can keep your word.
I trust Horatio. And I know you do too. Or at least you did. And it's for good reason.
Alrighty. So you continue on making small talk, discussing your plans, and have a very delicious dinner. As the time passes and you all continue to do your trainings and meditating and focusing, getting ready, it gets to the point where it's about a few hours after dinner, so about 7, 8 o'clock p.m. Horatio, because you're always looking out, and at this point, Cal, you would also have to steer the ship just to get it to go in there. You start to see in the distance, both actually, Cal, you would know, a very odd sight. You're not quite in Shiverin waters yet. More or less getting towards the mouth of the river. You know that this is known as the Kyokai River, by the way. Those of you who are from Shiverin. And it always separates the snowy region between the more dry region of Shiverin and Thelos. As you start to pull up, the both borders in between of the river look completely iced over, and there is a huge snowstorm blowing across its water. And as you get closer and closer towards it, you start to feel a chill run down. And you're used to the cold. It's not something that you fear, Cal, or not. That's something that you feel. But nevertheless, you start to feel very cold. Not taking any damage, but you are physically cold. Horatio, you're freezing. If you don't put anything warmer on soon, you will probably take cold damage.
I would immediately, if King is near us, I would immediately walk over to King and be like, I need to go into the portable hole real quick. And
yes,
King, if you're on the deck too, you would start to feel the same way.
I'll say yes. Yeah, let's get our winter furs.
Yeah.
And I'll take out the portable hole and say they're in the back, stacked up nicely.
I jump in the portable hole and pull out mine, King's, and
could you grab my my old uniform? It has the fur linings.
I'll essentially bring everyone's out for whomever wants to use it.
Rand will turn on Firethorn once the chilly winds start to reach him.
DM, is the entirety of the river frozen over?
The river is so... At this point, you're starting to steer the ship into the mouth of the Kyokai River.
Mm-hmm.
And as you do, there are ice chunks into the water that you start to feel the ice crown, because you haven't been going at full speed. You've still been going normal. That's why it took you a day just to get to the mouth. You see that there are chunks of ice leading out as if it's the northernmost part of Shiverin. The river itself isn't frozen, but there's a lot of solid in it. If you're going in there, so it would be on the right side of you. Normally would be Thelosian ground, which would be grass and normal, albeit it snows a little bit here. It's frozen over. And then to the left, it's Shiverin, so it normally looks frozen over anyway, but it's a dark, sinister cold you feel. Like you're not normally cold as being people from Shiverin, and this is definitely making your hair stand on end.
Sends a shiver down my spine.
Your timbers are shivering.
Yes. Okay. I would like to, if there's a way to, I don't want to slow the ship down anymore, but I also don't want to breach the hull on any ice. So I'd like to go carefully, and I will ask maybe Minako and Horatio. Minako specifically because of her vision, to keep a lookout for ice.
Sure thing, Captain.
Thanks, Minako.
As you continue to go closer, it's, as you know, it's eternally dusk here. And as you also know, Shiverin was a little bit more closer to night there for reasons, and that was part of the prejudice between Shiverin and Thelos. Just that it is closer to, and more demons pop up there. That you know. As you get here, if you ever experienced night before in other planes, this is the closest things you've seen to night. And it's almost like you just went from dusk to night when you pass through almost a threshold.
Something's not right.
It's never this dark. We should... Everyone, be on the lookout. Seems like we're in uncharted territory on this. Something is off about Shiverin.
Alright. So as you all stand and start to watch, at this point, if you do not have dark vision, you will be at disadvantage on all perception checks and your attacks. But if Duran has the Helm of Brilliance equipped and on, it constantly shines bright light. And he has Firethorn as well, so if you're at least within him, his radius, you'll be able to see. But I don't know if you have it equipped or not, Duran.
He has Firethorn. I don't know how much time has passed since dinner.
A couple hours has passed.
He would have attuned to it and dropped his attunement to the Ring of Spell storage.
Okay.
Would we have, say, like, taken a short rest over dinner? Would that have counted?
Oh, yes, totally.
Okay.
Yes. I'll give you guys a short rest if you need it.
Wait, who has the helmet in their inventory? Is it in the party sheet?
It's in a party sheet.
Yeah, it should be in the party sheet. And if you are getting rid of the Ring of Spell storing, I do have a slot available. I might
Someone
be
should take
interested
that
in
ring.
holding on to that. But I have Dark Vision prepared, so I will cast Dark Vision on myself.
Okay. You can see, 60 feet? And then another 100, another 60 or something like that? And
I got a Dark Vision range of 60 feet.
yes. So, within 60 feet of you, and since you were at the foremost of the ship at the bow, you can see 60 feet ahead of you until it's just really dark in the distance. And you can see all the icicles and things that are in the...
I have out to 60 normally.
Yeah, so you don't...
Excuse me.
Just the humes. But in any case, anyone doing anything else as you go through this canal, river pass? And I'm assuming you're all on deck?
Yeah.
Yeah. As instructed, Manaka will go to the front of the ship to keep an eye out for anything that's so large that we have to stop for it.
Captain Cal, I know I said I wouldn't use my magic, but I do have something that is not as taxing and much lower level spells that can potentially move things around in the water if we need it, just so you know. I'll wait for you to call for that, though.
Yes, only if we need it. We must save as much of your energy as possible.
Do I see one of these icicles that are like on the river?
Yeah, you see them passing by every so often.
Can I shoot an Eldritch Blast at one of them?
Sure, if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, just to see if we can maybe break them out of the way should they look like they're gonna damage the ship.
All right, so you go ahead and cast an Eldritch Blast, and you all may hear coming from
from nowhere.
Wow, and from nowhere. Well, you can see it from Horatio. You can see within the illusion, but you see him just blast, and just a huge gush of water that flies up before trickling down the cold water down like rain onto the waters below, and it destroys the icicle definitely.
Okay. Yeah, I figured it was
loud noise.
It was force damage. We'll be all right. All right. Well, and I say to Manako, if you see that any are getting in the way, let me know. We can just use some force to get them out of the way.
I'll let you know.
Okay.
Is everyone all right? This cold is just so bitter.
Yes, it's abnormally cold. This must be the demon dancer's doing.
Here. And then I'll prestidigitate 3 like little flowers, and I'll hand one to Manako, Duran, and Horatio, and cast prestidigitation, and it says, you may chill, warm, or flavor up to 1 cubic foot of non-living material, so as long as they have that little flower on them, sort of it will radiate a little bit of warmth for them.
Alright, fair enough. So you all are warmed by King's prestidigitation cantrip upon you. And it helps. Lord knows you all need it.
So, this Duran's Firethorn heat kind of...
Oh, yes.
Duran isn't going to bother taking it.
Well, here, Horatio, then you can have it. Or Cal.
All right.
Thank you, King.
I'll just stand next to you. And I just give it to Cal and stand next to him and use it too.
All right. So with you all warming yourselves and keeping a lookout, casting your spells to look on, how long does dark vision last?
8 hours.
8 hours, okay. So 1 hour passes by, you all shivering a little bit, look over as you go into the mouth of, and past the mouth of the Kyokai River, and continue to go further and further down, trying to make your way to Chilford. At the rate you're going now, especially if you slow down while you're going through this icicle, it'll probably take you about another at least half a day, maybe a little bit more, to get there, but you're making your way nonetheless. But it gets to be about 11 p.m. You're getting a little tired, but you're not pushing exhaustion yet. You all stir up, looking around as you hear a large crashing noise. Looking ahead of you, Monaco, since you were looking up first, as well as you, Horatio, in the front, you see that some type of glacier that was flowing there has fallen over, cracked on its side from its sheer weight, crashing down onto the waters of the river ahead of you, causing some type of blockade as you drift closer and closer towards it inside the Ice Crown.
We might have a blockade. Monaco, do you think that we should blast this to clear it out?
We can't risk anything like this stopping us.
How about I share the map?
Yay.
Alright, at the same time. Ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, and then she'll release an Eldritch Blast.
So will Horatio.
Alright, roll me damage.
Ooh.
13 from Monaco.
13.
I don't have any pluses, so 4 from Horatio.
4. Alright, so a total of 17. So you go ahead and release simultaneously your Eldritch Blast. There's just a silence for a moment until a sudden, as the force damage blasts part of the piece of the terrain that has fallen down onto the river ahead of you. But you're still sailing in that direction. Cal, are you doing anything after hearing this large blasts come from the two magic users in the front?
No, I think that I have to just trust what they're doing, and I have no real way to silence the noise, so I kind of have to just go with it. I do want to keep the invisibility up, though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to change that. Is there anything in the heat of the moment that I can go through in my memory for like an action to remember something that might be relevant?
I would say, in terms of this, you can, the things that you don't have to roll for it because you would just know it. You can speed up the ship if you want. You do have full control over that. You can place a shield around it to protect it if you want. But other than that, there's nothing else that would come to mind that you could do with the ship at this moment.
Well, then in that case, I would put the shields up.
Okay.
To protect the hull from the ice and the sides.
All right.
Sides of the bow is the front, right?
Yes. Yeah, you activate the shields. You also the warm glow of the shielding, though it's more concentrated now. As you know, Cal, you can focus the energy in one section or another, depending that be weapons or shielding. But you go increase the shielding of the ship as they continue their blast. When the smoke settles and the dust of the snow of the ice fades off, you see a good chunk of it has gone there. Not enough for the ice ground to pass through easily, but a good amount. You'll probably have to try again. But as you prepare to cast your spell once again to try to clear up the space as the ice crown continues going, you all hear a coming from the background that's echoing, and then another one, and then it just echoes throughout the interior of this kind of ice ice river.
We might have company, and if I do have time, DM, I would like to switch from an Eldritch Blast to a Fireball to clear up that ice and get us moving.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and roll me damage on that Fireball.
And when Horatio, it becomes clear that he's like conjuring a giant fireball, Monaka will join him in this effort and also throw a fireball.
So that's the damage for 29.
29 damage. Okay.
God damn.
That's 41 from Monaka.
Oh yeah, because you cast it at higher levels.
Okay. So you both just fire and lob over these huge, bright streaks of flame energy as they coalesce directly onto the area, which will encompass the entirety of the mass that had fallen into the river, and explodes. Pieces fly everywhere, blasting across both on the eastern and western shore of this river. As clearing a path of Cal, you continue going straight ahead, moving the ship. At this moment, from the light, the brightness of the explosion, and showing, giving you more vision beyond what you can see, you see streaks coming across towards you as from the direction that you're heading into. As popping up from that moment, I need everyone who's on the deck to roll me perception checks.
Yeah, 11.
All right.
4 for Monaka.
7.
King 19, Ratio 11, and Cal 7. As
And Duran 26.
Duran 26. So King and Duran, everyone else is kind of looking around, aimless, hearing these screeches that are coming from these creatures. You notice that after the blast of the flames coming at you at an alarming rate are these fish-like aquatic kappa creatures. And Duran, with your 26, is that what you think it is? And it looks like several. First is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which you can count on this point, of what looks to be those water Strelith water demons that you faced against Koben not too long ago, heading towards your direction. And I'll need everyone to roll me initiative.
Oh boy.
Now, whether they see you, you don't know.
Cal, doesn't something happen?
Oh yeah, a thing happens. This is the first time we've had to do this. This is awesome. My aura of the Sentinel activates as we roll our initiative, and everybody within 10 feet of me.
Oh, I said I was standing next to Cal.
He did say that. He did say that.
I bet that said that.
His
You all
token
get plus-
did instant transmission like Goku.
You all get to add 5 to your initiative.
Ooh.
Awesome.
So I go from a 6 to an 11.
I go from 23 to a 28.
Oh my fucking god, that's what I get.
That's what you get. So we have Duran with a 28, Cal with a 25, Monaka with a 21, Horatio at 11, and the Water Strill is all at 9.
Good.
Oh, and King at a 9, but the Water Drifts go before you, King.
Ew, I got
They
a
have a
plus
higher-
2.
And their dex is higher than
Oh,
yours.
well, fine.
And they're in the water, so they're just more slippery.
Good for them.
And King goes last with the 9. So, Duran, I'm going to reveal, because Duran, you can see them in the water, and they're totally hittable. But at this point, they are closing in, and the Ice Crown is just about to pass that water blockage. And then I can move the Ice Crown accordingly as you continue to go. Now, what is the speed of the Ice Crown? We'll begin. The speed is on the sheet, so you can go anywhere from 30 to up to 120, because you can power the Ice Crown that fast. I don't know how fast you want to go. If you want to just sail past these people, that's up to you. But you will have to be dodging a lot of icicles. But since Cal is driving the boat, it will be up to him.
Where are the Ice Crown's guns?
The Ice Crown guns are at the aft of the ship.
That's where Duran is heading right now.
So as these creatures are coming up, the waters are starting to get more rough, more murky and disgusting. Remember what happened last time when you faced these things. Now there's 6 of them that are coming here. And they are and it seems they're bringing with them a wave with them, and they're actually slowing down, waiting for something to come amiss. But it doesn't seem like Duran, because you roll so high in perception, that they've noticed exactly where you are. But they're sitting there, kind of beneath the water in shadows, waiting for something to pass within their range.
Dungeon Master, I have a quick question. What does it take to get into this gun? Is it an action?
It'll take half your movement to go inside of it.
Okay, awesome. I will use my bonus action to get the dash action to use half my movement to get inside of the gun.
Okay. All right, so you go ahead and lock and load yourself within inside one of the weaponries on the side. The creatures are not exactly in your field of view where you're positioned, but possibly with Cal's assistance, you can maneuver yourself to get into a good field of range to hit a lot of them from the cannons. But you're inside. You use your bonus action to do so. Is there anything you wish to do before else with your turn?
So I can't fire with my action yet, can I?
Not yet. You can hold your action for when Cal puts you into a good position to then fire.
Then I will ready to to fire on these guys the moment they come into range.
Alrighty. So you go ahead, lock and load, and so slip into the compartment that controls the weaponry of the arcane cannons. Locking there, you move around left and right, trying to get into a better position. And that will end your turn. Cal, you're up next.
All right. So I am up with everybody at the moment at the bow of the ship, and I'm assuming that's going to be more than 30 to get back. So I will use a dash, I guess.
Okay.
To get back to the wheel.
Okay, let me turn on the token movement. Yes.
And
Duran, you like okay.
Yeah. And from there, I will. So that ice bridge is now like completely gone.
Yeah,
because of the
you guys
fireballs.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there's still obstacles in the water.
We roasted.
But
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Well, with the force field up, I'm a little less worried about the hull right now. So I'm going to maneuver the ship 30 feet ahead, but I also want to turn it like 15 degrees to the east. So that way Duran's cannon can actually have some decent vision on these things and can start shooting at them.
All right, so this is part of your maneuverability as we had did before. So, like before on the Sapphire Shore, I'll need you to roll me, as you're trying to twisting, put him in better position, a survival check, adding your proficiency bonus.
Okay. So knowing that we are also invisible, I kind of want it to be where like the whole ship moves forward 30 feet, and then I'm going to drop the invisibility in front of these guys, so that way, whenever Duran wants to use his action, that's when I'm going to drop the invisibility, if it's possible.
Sure.
So that way it's like, boom, all at once, kind of thing. So let me make that survival check to see if it's even possible.
I'll put you right about there.
That is a 12.
A 12. And that's adding proficiency bonus?
I can see him trying to steer the boat and struggling in this moment, and I turn around and floor my coke, and I look at him and I say, Nyx, guide him. He needs your help, and expend 2 of my sorcery points and give him an additional 2 points on that check.
Okay, so it's now a 14.
A 14, yes.
Okay, so you go ahead and try to guide the ship. As you barrel through the remaining of the icicles that are there, you all start to feel a little bit of the impact, though the shield is taking most of it as you bash through it. You then begin to move the ship over. It starts to turn, and as it does, it gets into a favorable position for Duran to fire, but it kind of gets wedged into one of the sides of the ship. But Duran, you can, at this kind of strange position, you can at least get where, and you know exactly where they are. So lucky you were able to see it. You can get so you can see number 1 and number 5, and you're able to fire at them. So you can go ahead and roll an attack against them if you want to use your reaction to do so.
Absolutely. Dungeon Master, does that trigger my assassinate ability?
Read your assassinate ability? I guess technically, yeah, it would. It would. Yes, it would.
So Duran hops into the gun and tries to take them up by surprise.
29 hits both of them. So go ahead and roll your damage. Make sure you target both of them so it can damage both of them. And this is number 1 and number 5. Alrighty. So you all just hear as a beam of arcane energy blasts into the area where two of the water lifts were. You see them pop out of the water, revealing to everyone now exactly where they are. And the water disperses enough where for a moment you all can see exactly where they have stopped, creating a sort of barricade, waiting for some substance to pass them. But they seem to know exactly where you are as all eyes jolt from the area where they were blasted from, as the invisibility is dropped by Cal, though you are wedged.
Yes.
Alright. So while you're in, you only can make one attack with the weapon, but it's still your turn, Cal. But use your action and you move there. Anything you do with the bonus action?
No, because I used the dash.
That's right.
To get to the wheel fast.
Oh.
So that's my turn.
All right. Up next, Monako. You are wedged in here. You can do, unless you have some type of means of getting yourself unwedged, you can either attack the creatures that you can pretty much see where they are, so you can target them, or that. But the choice is yours.
I am. So when you say we're wedged, would you just how large of an area? How large of an area is it's sort of like we're. It's like the nose of the ship has become wedged into the.
Into like the frozen ground that's above. That's the shoreline of this.
Is it like something that we could slightly get out of, or is it like yammed in?
You could probably slightly. I would say you would need to do a check on your turn to see how Judith.
We just know that it's preventing us.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, that's fair.
Okay. Monako will. I would like to have her run up along the bow of the ship to get to the earth that it's rammed into. And then she begins to stone dance, attempting to mold the earth and release the ship from its grasp.
Okay, so you are using the passive ability of your stone dancing ability to mold the earth?
Yeah, so she'll take the dash action so that she can spend her movement entering her stone dance.
Okay, excellent. Monako, you go ahead, dashing across, running across, using that. You quickly assess the situation, running across to the other side. There, you see that it's pretty wedged in there, not so tight, like a good nudge would be able to push it. So you go ahead and start using your movement to enter your vagary of dancing. Completing the steps, you're able to activate the at-will ability to move the earth that is connected to, which pushes the ship gently off back into a correct position. But at this portion, you're starting to go without you, but you have some time to do it. But you do see that the current is pulling it away.
If she has time to get back on the ship before it completely gets off, she'll use the rest of her movement to get on. Otherwise,
what did you use? 50? Yeah, you could use actually, because you kind of jumped off and came back on. Jumping off is easy. Getting back on was doing it will require you to roll a check. So roll for me an acrobatics or athletics check.
Oh, she's great at those. Let's roll acrobatics. Oh, a 4 for a total of 7, but I would like to call upon her Dark One's own luck to add an extra d10. As she begins to slip, in her mind she thinks, "Help me!" and gets a 1 for a total of 8.
You don't need that motherfucker.
Doesn't even help her.
He lets you fall.
So Monako, as you go ahead and you start to slip off the slippery ship, you fall back calling out for your patron, and you feel a hand grab you, and he goes, "Let this be a lesson to you. Don't question me, my beloved." And he just lets you go. Falling down as you fall into the frigid water. You get there, and almost smelling like blood in the water, you start to see all the who are looking at the creatures, then begin to go underwater and head towards Monako. And you're like about right here, we'll say.
It is Horatio's turn next.
Horatio, no.
Horatio, yes.
All right, so yeah, that ends Monaco's turn. So Horatio, you're up next.
So Horatio was in the process of charging up a lightning bolt and sees that Monako fell in the water, and he immediately switches and creates an arcane gate right in front of Monako and the other one on the boat. And says, "Go through it, Minako." And hopefully, she can.
Woman. So, and what were you casting?
I'm casting the arcane gate like right in front of her, so that when the current pushes her, she kind of goes through it and pops up on the boat.
Okay, interesting. All right, so you go ahead casting the arcane gate, and Minako, you see appearing in front of you as you're drenched in water, and the current is pulling you, and you see in the water a dark figure heading towards you. You see blocking that entire dark figure is a large, gigantic gate that opens up, bending space and time, while another opening appears onto the ship in a bright light. Anything else you wish to do in your turn, Horatio?
No, that's it.
Alrighty. So, up next are the water streliths. Minako hasn't flowed through it yet, so they will attempt to go towards her. They'll probably just swim underneath it, to be honest. So, water strelith number 1 is they're all going to head towards Minako. You are 5, 10, 15. Okay. It's going to, the one that was struck by Duran is going to pop out of the water, and you see it and you recognize it from your battle before. Is going to pull its head back and release a dark, noxious water spout that's going to flip over towards Minako and dirty the area and muck the water that she's in. I'll need you to roll me a strength saving throw, Minako.
A 14.
14, that is a failure. All right. So, you take 17 points of acid damage as you are pulled towards this water strelith, pulled past all the other ones, and you see hungry mouths just yipping and yapping as you're pulled before them and dragged directly in front of water strelith number 1.
Wait, did he pull her? Did he pull her through the portal? Because she should pop up.
No, she went underneath the portal and zipped around it.
Okay.
Bubbles. Bubbles and underwater screams.
I need you to roll me a Constitution saving throw as well, as now you're in corrupted waters.
A 2.
Natural one for a 2. You are poisoned and you are poisoned, and you take 4d6 poison damage. 19 points of poison damage. Wall of Strelith number 2. So with its spout used, it cannot do anything else. So Wall of Strelith number 2 will go. Number 2 will just move up a little closer, so it's right next to his brethren, and will attack you at advantage since you're basically surrounded by these creatures. So it gets 2 attacks. First with its bite. 19.
That'll hit.
Okay. So you take 15 points of piercing damage. It goes in for the next strike. A dirty 20. So with his claws, it slashes at you, Minako, doing an additional 15 points of damage. Alright, that ends its turn. Up next is Water Strelith number 3. We'll just continue in the same fashion. 28, which hits. Okay, doing 41 points of damage.
This is...
Yeah. When Minako gets reduced to 0 hit points, there's a stirring moment of, I guess, not goodness. Shadows burst out of her book and envelop her, and she returns to life with 1 hit point.
As Minako, you go limp, the current starts to take you away as they kind of throw you. Well, I wouldn't say the current takes you away. The one of them, seemingly thinking that it finished you off, throws you to the side as you smash against the rocks on the other edge, like poof, sitting there as they continue to go, heading towards the people onto the ship. So they rolled a very low perception check, and you were fooled by your not noticing that you were not killed, saving you for later. But roll strelith number 4 will go up, and now knowing that you're there and you guys are within its range, let's see, 5, 10, 15.
What happened to her? What did it do to her?
It threw her to the side, saving her for dinner, thinking she's dead, while it's continuing to do the rest. Wall of Strelith number 4 is going to go, and is going to move up a little bit closer, swimming up, and make a water spout strike against King, because you're a little bit closer to it. I need you to make me a strength saving throw, King.
That's a 6.
No luck points left?
No luck points left?
Okay.
No paladins near me, no nothing.
That is a failure. You are grabbed. You take 28 points of acid damage and are dragged into the water, into the face of the water Strelith number 4. Roll me a Constitution saving throw as you were pulled into the poison water.
That I'm good at. Generally.
Not today.
Not today.
So let's get to
Actually, in this moment of need, since I have rested earlier, I will activate my Favored by the Gods ability and giving myself 4 more points, making that a 16.
Not enough. You take 4d6 poison damage and are poisoned. An additional 10 points of damage onto you, King, as you're pulled and dragged underneath the water, once again feeling that poisoned energy.
All right.
And that is Water Strelith number 4 turn, as it can only do that. Up next, Water Strelith number 5. Alright, so Water Strelith number 5 is going to go, and is going to attack King. You're the closest thing to it, and in the water. So it will swim, so it gets advantage, and make 2 strikes against you. First with his bite attack. 22, which hits, doing 22 points of damage. Now with his claw attack. Oops. That was the first one. It's at advantage. So it's a 17, which hits, but let's see if it's a nat 20. And sure enough, yes it was.
Oh my fucking god!
Sorry.
He's like, you gonna work for these magic items.
Doing 39 points of slashing damage onto you, King. So, King, you were pulled underneath the water by the spout. As you're now in between these 2 creatures, they go ahead and start to claw and bite at you, trying to weaken you and prepare you for its evening meal. Water Strelith number 6 is up next.
Wastrelith.
Oh, sorry, I've been saying it wrong. Yes,
Wastrelith.
it is Wastrelith. Wastrelith number 6. Wastrelith number 6 is going to swim up and rinse and repeat. Horatio, you're now its target. Roll me a strength saving throw as it shoots out its grasping spout.
I'm gonna use the reroll on my staff.
Okay, all right. Activating the staff of Elsalar.
That's a 12. Can I now use my inspiration, which is the Makar?
Arabu bonus?
The
Sure,
Arabu
go ahead.
bonus, yeah, out of D8.
Roll that D8.
Trying to get pulled into these waters, my guy. That is an 18.
Woo-wee, you made it. So the grasping spout comes out, wraps against you. You hold tight. As it's about to pull you, you grab onto the staff of Alsalar on your back and channel its energies. As you do, you pull again stronger, praying to Makar to anything to not be pulled into this water and able to pull your leg out as it breaks the spout coming from the creature, as it hisses in contempt and remains in its position looking up at you above the water and ends its turn. King, you're up next.
Okay, the situation got really bad really fast. So he's going to realize that he's I'm underwater, surrounded by these creatures, and an immense pain, and I have to not be here. So I am going to call forth a portal and dimension door away from these creatures, and I will teleport myself. Because I was on the ship and looking around, I know the surrounding land. I'd like to teleport here behind these trees, like 80, 90 feet away, and potentially, like, I'm gonna try and hide behind these. I want to teleport behind it so that way it might not see me. Obviously, it knows that I disappeared from its grasp, and then I'm obviously gonna go try and heal Minako, but I can't cast more than one spell yet at higher level, so I will do that out of the water, freezing cold and soaking wet. Dimension door, I believe, is a bonus.
Nope.
No, that was an
It's
action for Dimension Door.
Oh, it's an okay, so it's a full action. So I'm going to say I need some warmth to think, and I will activate use a sorcery point and quicken cast Prestidigitation to dry and warm myself in this moment, so that way I'm not soaking wet and freezing of hypothermia.
Okay, good call.
So presto becomes a bonus action.
All right, so you prestidigitate yourself, and indeed, the frigid cold. You guys would be freezing had you not just dried yourself in this. It completely makes your clothes, your robes, once again back to their normal selves, and you don't take the damage, but you are hurt from all those blasts. And you can, peering over, it looks like the washtrilifts are just looking around, hectic, trying to find where you went.
Yeah, I could see like the water is sort of like hectic and chumming. I will, if I can, flourish my robe a little bit in like this direction, so hopefully it's blocked by the tree, but Duran or Cal could see that I've made it out of the water.
Okay.
As like a free action behind the tree. And then that was my bonus action. I still have my movement, so as I sort of do that like flourish and twirl my cape, I will spend my move action to activate my healing, activate my mist vagary, and this is technically a soul burst because I used 3 in the cleansing ritual, so this is my 4th. I have to now or never, mist vagary, royal dominion, and I'll heal myself a tiny bit and call forth this cleansing aura.
All right, so you go ahead and activate your Mist Vagary, and then choosing to use a soul burst to activate your Mist Vagary. In doing so, you create the King's Dominion. Is this 1 burst, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. To create your royal dominion around you, healing yourself for the D4s. Anything else you wish to do in your turn, King?
That's everything.
All right. Top of the round. Duran, from where you are now, roll me a perception check. See if you notice King. You have direct sight where King is.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You saw King flirting. You saw King kind of appear, furling his cape around, brandishing it, letting you know that he's on the other side. You didn't know what happened. You just knew he was on deck, and now he's over there. Little worse for wear. Looks pretty battered and bruised.
Do I also see where Manako was thrown up from the water?
Ooh, with your yes, with your 20, yes, you can. You can see her. It's off in the distance, but where the gun is, because where you are now, you can still technically hit Water Shield number 5. The position is just at the edge of it, and you won't worry about hitting Manako. But so you can still see. You can see Manako off in the distance where she is. She's unconscious, looking on the shore.
Duran through his bar sending messages Cal. He says, Manako and King are on the shore, and they are surrounded. Can you handle them?
I have something planned.
Duran is so is Wastrelith 5 in range?
Yes.
Only, or is it 1 and 5, or 5 or 4, or just 5?
Just 5 is in range, as you're now straight again.
Awesome. Duran is going to fire on Wastrelith 5.
All right, go ahead and fire your Arcane Blast. Don't forget to add your proficiency bonus. Did you add your proficiency bonus?
No.
Okay.
It should be a 19.
Okay. So it's a 19, which would hit.
Yeah, excellent.
All right. Not as high as the last one, but still 11 points of damage. That blast down onto the Strilith number 5.
Duran is going to spend half his movement actually getting out of the cannon.
Alrighty. So you dismount, get out of the cannon, see over at the helm is Cal. You still have the rest of your movement and your bonus action to increase your movement.
Duran's going to move 15 feet and...
what you want to do, Duran?
He is going to use his bonus action to move up to here next to the arcane gate, and that's going to end his turn.
Alrighty. So Duran, you go ahead, fire another blast over at the Strilith number 5. That's looking pretty weak right now. Hopping out, you go head over towards Horatio's arcane gate and prepare yourself for your next move. Up next is Cal. What do you wish to do?
I have questions, DM.
Okay.
How far can I move the ship if I want to propel it forward? rather than just the natural current of 30 feet.
Okay, so you can activate the ability to make it go 120 feet. Just
okay. And these creatures, are they all underwater? Are they bobbing, with their heads above the water?
Yeah, a mixture between... They've attacked and they haven't descended, so they're like half their bodies above water. And they're large creatures.
Okay. Alright. If that is the case, I would like to hold the wheel steady straight, knowing that it's going to naturally just move forward 30 feet if I leave it, and dash to the bow of the ship. Sure. Yeah, I can do that if I dash. And then for my action, I'm going to channel my divinity, and I'm going to abjure the extraplanar. I'm going to take my my magic revolvers out, holding them, and holding them straight out to these things, addressing them directly, and I'm going to shout out, "In the name of Kalimvor, be gone!" And they're all going to need to make wisdom saving throws.
Okay, and they're very bad at those. So let's see, I'll roll. All right, so the highest person had a 12.
Yeah, they are all turned. For 1 minute.
Okay. And what does turning do?
A turned creature must spend its turns trying to move as far away from me as it can, and it can't willingly end its move in a space within 30 feet of me. For its action, it can only use the dash action to try to escape from an effect that prevents it from moving. If there's nowhere to move, it can take the dodge action.
Oh, right.
Basically, I scared these things into running away.
Ooh, I see. I just picture like this avatar of Kalimvor like forms around you. Like,
how is your challenge? Explain just the first time you're channeling this type of divinity. Explain how you would like how your divinity looks, Cal.
I kind of like what you were going with there, King. And so as I was holding these revolvers out and screaming out and bellowing that these things need to be gone, white light, instead of it being like a shadow getting larger behind me to intimidate them away, it is just like this enlarging of like my own outline in like a white light, and in the darkness that we're in, it just appears like 15 feet around me, or 30 feet around me, as that's the spell's range, and it just sends these things wailing away from me as quickly as possible.
All right, so you go ahead and make this avatar of yourself larger as you appear behind them, making yourself look exponentially larger. The shining holy light of Kalimvor shines onto these creatures, and they all hold up their fins, and you hear hissing from all of them, and they immediately stop what they were doing. If they were about to lunge out, if they were about to go and after Monako and finish her off, all of that stops, and they all turn and all begin to just run away. It's not their turn yet, but you can see them immediately turn away from the shining pillar of Kalimvor, that is the mortal key Cal, and just start to run away, and they can move very fast. And then, of course, the ice crown flows 30 feet further.
I reach, I feel my ring as a free action and message over to King. Grab Monako and get back on the ship!
Roger. No, he'll say, okay.
And that's it.
Alrighty. Up next, Monako, you are still alive, and where as the moments you were blinking, it looked like one of the wastroliths were beginning to turn to you. One of them did notice you had rolled in the background, but is now fleeing away from this beacon that is Cal as you blink with your 1 HP.
Get me out of here! And she'll cast Far Step to teleport 60 feet back onto the boat.
Alrighty.
Still prone from being knocked against the shore. She spends 15 feet of movement standing up. The rest of her movement, that is. and then will she stands up and says, "Bless you," and will cast guidance on Cal, and then spend 15 feet of movement to go below deck.
To start to go below deck.
Yeah, she kind of holds her side and leans on the boat on the railing and starts making her way to go downstairs.
Alrighty. So Monaco, you successfully make it back on as the washer lifts start to run away. Up next, Horatio.
Seeing that Monaco is on the ship already, and knowing that King was pulled, he'll say, "King, where are you?" over the brain chat.
I'm on the left side.
And then he will...
I'm in the trees. Look for my mist.
I walk over or Horatio will walk over to the left side and just look towards the trees and move the other ring right over here. So that I've placed the ring near you with his bonus action. And then he doesn't really have anything else to do because the baddies ran away. So I placed the ring close to King so that he can bamf to the boat.
Alrighty, so you go ahead. The arcane goes from the gate, goes from the water, and shifts over, appearing right in front of King. You see that shining light of temporal space augmentation above, right in front of you. You can see it as your way out, as the water shells all begin to run away, and it's now their turn, and they will just use their full swimming speed to just swim away from the ice crown, running for dear life from the beaking that is Cal, as he leads the figurehead almost of the ice crown. But as you all move your 30 feet further and further into the river. So they end all their turn. King, you're up next.
Okay, seeing the portal, I will run towards it and run through it.
All right.
And then I assume that will bamf me onto.
You appear right in the deck, right next to your allies, appearing once again throughout the arcane gate.
Thank you so much, Horatio. Do I see Monaco's heading towards the down?
Yeah.
I'll run over to her, and as I touch, Monaco, are you all right? And as I do, I will touch her, and I will twin cast Cure Wounds on both herself and myself, since we're fucked up.
I thought I saw you go down.
Yeah, so I will reach out and touch her, and as I do so, this warm healing energy will sort of radiate from my hands, and a floral scent will sort of overcome us. Pollen Garden. And it will emanate, and I'll twin it on the two of us at third level. And also, in this moment, since I was dancing and it's still active, the mist will start to coalesce around us, and I will pulse a healing... I'll pulse a healing wave, and all allies within 20 feet of me will get a refreshing regen as well. And then I will end my turn.
Alrighty. So our turn, it's Duran. The Ice Crown, they're just running away right now. Duran, as you see them in the back, is there anything you wish to do, or?
Duran just puts his blade away and turns off Firethorn.
Alright. Cal, on your turn, do you speed? Well, you're not at the helm, so the Ice Crown continues moving 30 feet further and further.
Yeah, and I would actually go back to the helm and then try to just get us to speed up and get as much distance between us as possible.
Alright. So we will say, with the amount of time it'll take for you to go, and them being scared, they will continue to be scared away from you and not be able to catch up. With the sheer speed of the Ice Crown, you run off, you float off, excuse me, you drift off fast into the dark depths of the Kyokai River and successfully escape from the Water Strilla encounter. Combat is over.
The Water Strillith.
The Water
Strillith. Whatever. That's what they're called in this one.
That's what they're called here.
They're called Water Strilliths here.
Water Skrillex.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, all right.
Sorry.
No, this is fine.
Awesome.
Ooh, all right. So you all continue floating It is about midnight and you're getting tired. The battle has just ended. If you guys are pushing along, you would probably need a long rest around now. If you want, let me know. You can go down, take a long rest. If you're just deciding to stay up and guide the ship, as you'll need some... Right now, you've been barreling through, so at this point, Cal, you of all people will probably have to stay up and guide the ship over the night to make sure you don't crash into any more things. There'll only be a couple checks. But I just want to know what everyone's doing as the battle has ended.
I will stay up and keep guard. We cannot be caught off guard by an assault like that again.
I'll tend to our wounds and heal us back up.
Duran's gonna reach into his pouch. He's gonna throw King his potion.
I'll catch it and say, no need. Save this for when there's an actual battle, in the heat of the moment.
Yeah. Be careful with your magic. We will need all the help we can get.
I have other sources that don't tax me. I will only do what is appropriate. And I'll only use the Caliburn staff charges to cast Cure Wounds on Monako and I believe I have 10 minus the 2 I've used earlier in the day, so 8. But I won't actually use all 10, so that's 7 charges of Cure Wounds. So I'll give her 4 more and me 3.
Alrighty then. So using the power of Caliburn, you go ahead and heal your allies. You feel rejuvenated, still tired though. Cal, you go back to the helm. Duran, you stay on. Here I show you. Go and continue doing your studies. Is there anyone going to bed? Right now it looks like Cal and Duran are staying on top. Probably going to push some exhaustion. If I'm correct. Anyone else going to stay with them, or are you going to go to head to bed?
I'm gonna go to bed, King. Thanks for your help back there.
Yeah, of course. I'm sorry I couldn't come sooner.
It's not your fault.
Yeah. I'm gonna come with you. If they're gonna take first watch, I could take second. And do you want to do third?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. Good night.
Good night.
I'll use the bracelet and send a message to Cal and say, we're going to rest. I'll take second shift and Monako will do third.
Sounds like a plan. Duran's with me now.
Alright. So, Cal, are you going to just stay up and just continue to guide the ship throughout the evening?
Yes, I will be pushing exhaustion for that, yeah.
Got it, alright. So, Duran, you're taking first watch?
Yes, and Duran will activate his Cloud Vagary Skywalker and patrol around the ship and kind of patrol around up from the mast from where he can get a really good view of what's looming in the distance for the ship.
All right. And is the ice crown invisible, or are you keeping it in its current state, Cal?
Oh, I would make it invisible again. I want to have us as stealthy as possible. Okay. Because we don't know what we're going to expect, what to expect when we get to Chilford.
All right. Good to know. So, you all go and have your watches. Couple hour passes. Cal, you're pushing exhaust. At this point, you are exhausted, so you'll get the exhaust status. Duran, the first few hours on your watch, no problem. Cal, roll me a survival check, please, adding your proficiency bonus.
At disadvantage because I'm exhausted?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. That's fine with me. So let me go. Survival. 13?
13. All right. You start to move around, and unfortunately, it's just the battle that happened in these icy waters. Just you're not used to it, or it's just so much full of little icebergs that it's just hard for you to control this massive ship with. You need more practice, you feel. But nevertheless, you bash in and out of some rocks and some tiny... You're not able to get through the tiny portions of this river. And the Ice Crown does take some damage to its shielding. Though you do have its shielding up and ready, so it doesn't take any initial hull damage. All of you who have been resting, though, it's not as good of a rest as you expect as Cal bashes in and out, and you can feel it inside the ship. I would say now... at this point, as people are switching, and King, you come up for your watch and continue watching as well. Roll me another check now at disadvantage, Duran. I'm sorry, now at disadvantage, Cal.
Still adding the 5, though?
Yes, but you don't get the bless anymore.
Can I assist if I'm up there with him? I'll be like, how's it going?
Yeah.
And I will again conjure little sunflowers of prestidigitation energy for us, and sort of keep us like warm in this moment. And say, how's the night so far?
It's been a little rough. I'm not used to these narrow passages.
Okay. So it would be a normal roll since you're being assisted. So we'll take the 13 and add your 6 to that. So giving it a 19.
A 19.
All right. So 19. Much better. Even though you're tired, having the assistance of King is helping you a lot as these few more hours pass by. And King, you do successfully aid him in dodging all of these, and it doesn't bother anyone who's resting currently. And then your watch passes by, King. Monako, your turn. It's the last part of the watch that you need.
Yeah, I'll refresh the prestidigitation on him before I leave, giving him an additional hour of warmth, and then go get Monako and be like, "Are you all right? Can you help keep Cal awake?"
Yeah.
He hasn't. All right. Good night. And I'll go back to my room and go to bed.
All right.
Monako was clearly crying before, but she seems okay now. She'll go upstairs to the top of the deck and see Cal and give him a little prestidigitation warm on his jacket. Are you doing all right?
Yeah. The last few hours have been pretty smooth. Hopefully, nothing else happens while everyone's resting and regrouping. Thanks for joining me out here.
Yeah. You could use it, right? Here. A small blessing. And she will once again cast guidance on Cal. A small bit of a dark smoke trail from her fingers and kind of wrapped around it.
Alrighty. So Cal, roll me one last time.
So survival, here we go. Oh.
And then you get a D4.
All right.
11. Okay, so you go ahead. You continue. At this point, you've bashed so much into the exterior, the illusion of the ice crown is starting to flicker, and no longer are you being aided by the stealthiness of it, as it has taken some damage. And anyone who has been resting, you feel the lurching of it. I'll still give you all a long rest, though, for RP purposes. You don't have a very comfortable sleep, those who are completing their long rest, though you still benefit from a long rest, with the exception of Cal.
How's my trance? Is it interrupted at all, really?
Yeah, your trance was a little interrupted. Too much movement. It's not comfortable enough for you to focus on trancing. But you also get long rest benefit. But each of you, let me just remove Cal, benefit from a long rest. So, as the ice crown slowly pulls up, getting closer and closer to Chilford, which is about halfway up or so the Kyokai River, I need Monako and Cal to roll me perception checks. Duran as well, if you're still on the actual deck.
No, he did not rest on the deck. He went below deck to trance.
All right, so we have
18.
18 for... All right, not bad. Even being tired, 18's pretty good. Monako, 10. You're still hurt. Well, no, you got long rest. Just you're still sore from everything that you're not really paying attention out there. But Cal, you're just as alert, trying to stay as awake as much as you can, using the aid of your allies. You see off into the distance Chilford. And you recognize Chilford. You've been to Chilford before. Everyone from Shivrin who's an adventurer would have been to Chilford. But as you look up, you hear, in the distance, you hear a screeching. As you look up, you see what looks to be a large, infernal-looking beast, bulbous in its stomach, almost bird-like, but it's humongous. Flashes bat-like wings across the interior, the above aerial space of Chilford, swoop down, come back up after a moment. It seems to be carrying what looks to be a humanoid figure before swallowing it and going off into the distance, where there's just this ominous glow coming off of Chilford. As you see patrolling around the exteriors, as you slow down the ship looking distance, what seems to be a procession of demons walking around its exterior. And that is where we will end tonight's session.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
Oh no, it's as bad as I thought.
Oh my goddess.
On last thing, I was like, one of you were right, and it was Monako. It looks to be a demon-ridden town, as they are eating up people and keeping them in or out. You're not sure, but we'll find out more about what's going on there next week So thank you so much, everybody, for coming. Thank you so much for everyone listening out there. Thank you so much for our patrons. I hope you guys had a wonderful time. Darker times are ahead, but there's always a light at the end of the tunnel, right? I hope so. But we will find out next time. So from the first chapter to the last page, we love you guys. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.